Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sharielle if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. As you see in the title, today's video is all about how to move on. And this was inspired by one of my subscribers. They sent me a request to do this topic, so I really hope that I can help you right after this intro. So we're at the top of the year. This is a perfect time to end dead relationships, situationships, whatever. It's time to move on. Stop lingering and let it go. So I have 7 steps for you. And the first step is don't forget the bad and don't fantasize about the good. I don't know about men, but women do this so much. We'll think about what they used to do, or the good times we had, or in the beginning when you're in the cupcake stage, which doesn't really count, how they were consistent and they were loyal and they were loving. But that starts to disintegrate over time when that person doesn't care for you or they lose interest. And we tend to forget about that, how they didn't communicate with us well, how they neglected us when they could vent to us and there was nobody, they didn't have a listening ear for us to vent to them. We have to stop forgetting why we stopped talking to them in the first place or why it ended in the first place. And especially if you had more bad times than good, don't forget the ratio. If you have more bad times with somebody than good, it's a definite no-go. If they picked people over you, like they were talking to other people while you guys were talking, or they cheated on you, don't forget that. Of course you can forgive, but don't forget. As human beings, we sometimes block out trauma because our brain naturally does that. And we are very nostalgic, but to the point where we only remember the good parts of those memories and not the bad. So once you start remembering what they did to you, keep that on repeat so you don't go back. Do not forget the bad. Of course you had good times, but it's over now. Forget about it. Time to move on. Number 2. Make necessary adjustments. So this has 2 categories. The first is if you have to stay in contact with them, like you have no choice because this is your ex-wife or ex-husband, you're a baby mother, a baby father, or a coworker, you decided to date somebody at your job. You have to make the necessary adjustments so that they know this is over and we're gonna set these boundaries here. So if you have to stay in contact with somebody, you no longer need to be calling them pet names. Even if you miss them and they say, I miss you, don't say it back. You need to start thinking of them as purely platonic. Even if your heart still longs for them, if you're trying to move on, it's a wrap. Stop thinking of them as a possible love interest. No more lovey-dovey talk. They cannot contact you at all hours of the night. If they contact you past, say, 7 p.m., you don't answer them till 7 a.m. the next morning. We're on business hours now. You're not my person anymore. I'm moving on from you. Those are the type of boundaries you need to set. Say the person is picking up the kid from your house, not even trying to be mean. Sometimes they don't need to enter your home. You bring your child to the door and, say mommy or daddy loves you and bring them to their mom or their dad. Let them get in the car, wave, close the door. You don't need to come in here anymore. Or if you do let them in your house because you guys were friends at first and it's fine, don't let them just chill on the couch and get all comfortable and, try to throw little shots at you. Not bad shots, I'm talking about shots to where they're trying to check your temperature. You need to keep it very brief and very short with these people. And you have to do it over and over because a lot of times when you're trying to move on and the other person, they might even have another situation, but they like to string you along. They will test the waters because it entertains them and they want to see if you still care for them. So keep it brief with conversations, brief with text, very platonic, set boundaries, have time limits, just readjust your treatment. You don't need to be cold towards them, but they need to know there's new rules and regulations without it even being spoken. Through your actions, you'll show them this is not what it used to be. We're now here and this is where it's staying because I'm moving on. And the second half of this is when you don't have to stay in contact, which is amazing. And this is how you make the adjustments there. If you decide to, you can keep them on social media and on your phone. But if it's triggering for you to see them on social media, just mute them. If muting is not enough, remove them as a follower from seeing you, if they're bothering you especially, and unfollow them, because you don't need to be seeing them every single day on your phone, and because that's going to make you want to text them or call them, or when they call or text you, you're more tempted to pick up because you keep seeing them on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, Snapchat. Remove them from your social media if you have to, and it's no hard feelings. It's just for your sanity and for your heart, because you need to heal and adjust to no longer being with them. Just unfollow them. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to block them. If you unfollow them, or you don't answer their messages or their FaceTimes or calls, and they keep bothering you and you don't have to be in contact with them, like I said, you need to just block them because they're not getting it. So you need to block them and keep them blocked for at least a month, I feel. If you know their personality, you can gauge how long you should keep them blocked till they'll give up. And then you can unblock them, and hopefully they just stop bothering you. The third step on how to move on is to delete everything. If you're not ready to do this, if this is in the early stages of you moving on and you happen to look at text messages or in your camera roll, don't delete everything yet. But if you're at a point where you're sick and tired of being stuck on this person and you're really ready to move on, like you'll never go back to them, delete everything. There's no reason to keep it, because you're gonna keep looking back at it, you're gonna reminisce, the feelings are gonna come back, you're gonna be more vulnerable, and it's easier for them to come back in your life, especially when they don't need to. So delete the text threads, delete pictures, delete the videos, delete all the posts on Snapchats, because we don't need those snap memories coming back next year when you should definitely be over them. We don't need to see their face, hear their voice. Delete everything. And that's digitally. And real life, delete whatever possessions that are at your house or in your vicinity, in your car. If you have, ladies, if you have his hoodie, his basketball shorts, his t-shirt, get rid of it. Give it to Goodwill. Do something with it. Give it to Salvation Army. Men, I don't know what women leave at your house, but if she leaves her lashes, her tank top, I don't know. Get rid of it. We don't need anybody's stuff reminding us of them. I don't care if you so-called like the hoodie, ladies. Get rid of it. You can buy your own hoodie. My fourth step on how to move on is to spend time with people you love. This helps so much, especially when you just broke up with somebody and you're trying to move on, or they broke up with you. When you spend time with family, friends, and loved ones, it just warms your heart, because the love you used to get from that person, it's a void now, and you're used to receiving it from them, and it's released the chemicals in your brain, and that's what makes you addicted to going back. But it's like, we need to start spending time with our family, and spending more time with your children, maybe spending more time with your friends, going out and letting them speak life into you, telling you how you're worthy, that it's not your fault, that you can move on, and this is not the end of the world. Honestly, it's not. It's just a chapter in your life, and it's closed. So let's move on and write a new one. My fifth step on how to move on is to keep busy. I don't always mean literally to keep busy, because that can be an addiction. You'll be busy day to night trying to distract yourself from them. What I truly mean by that is to stay productive. When we're productive, we invest ourselves into whatever we're doing. And I feel like, especially as women, because we love those good morning texts, we love attention from the person we were with, and we almost have that trigger. Like when you get a text message, you think it's them, or you get a phone call, you low-key, you're hoping it's them, and it's like, no, we have to get over that. So we need to do things that keep us off of our phone. It'll be great to start a new hobby. You can learn how to sew, how to crochet, buy a coloring book, an adult coloring book, drink some wine, and enjoy yourself. Get in the gym, literally pump some iron and get those feelings out. Like, tire yourself out on the treadmill or the Stairmaster. Do productive things like that when you're at your job. Give your best effort, which you should anyway, but some jobs, they don't deserve it. But do your best at work. Do whatever keeps you busy, so you're on your phone less and you're thinking about them less, and it develops a new routine for you that excludes them. Because when you're in the same routine, you miss them more because they would fill certain time slots, you know, when they would FaceTime you at lunch, or they would call you before you go to bed, or all these other things. When you totally flip your routine and you make it custom to you being solo dolo by being busy, now this is helping you to move on physically and change your habits and your mindset. The 6th step on how to move on is avoiding triggering things. You definitely need to do this in the beginning, especially when you're first moving on from somebody. If you guys used to go to a certain park together, a certain restaurant, a certain cafe, avoid it, because it's going to trigger you. If you guys used to watch a TV show on Netflix together, don't watch it. Don't watch it alone. If there's certain songs that reminds you of this person, until you get stronger, take it out the playlist, because we are moving on and moving forward. We don't want anything to trigger us and bring back a rush of feelings that make us vulnerable and have us go back to them. No, no, and no. Until you get strong again, don't revisit familiar things that you did together or experienced together. And the 7th and last step on how to move on is mourn the relationship, but then heal. There is nothing wrong with thinking about that person, missing them, still loving them. It's a part of life. We should never shut our feelings off like we're robots, because we're not, and it doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you dumb. If you mourn a relationship you lost, it's a bond, and it's over. So it's okay to be like, geez, this hurts. It's okay to go to counseling, therapy, you know, talk with your friends about it, but you can't linger on it. When it's really time to move on after you mourned, I'm not going to give you a time limit on it, but don't drag it. Once you mourned your relationship, heal. And the best thing you can do is investing in yourself. Heal by loving you, doing things for self-care, doing things that make you laugh, doing things you enjoy. Go to a stand-up comedy show or watch stand-up comedy on YouTube. Go to church, get closer to God. There's a million things you can do to heal and get better. And literally remember who you are, because this is not the end of the world. You are worthy. Somebody else will love you. And this person is just, like I said, was a chapter, and it's over, and it's okay. And when people ask you about it, don't feel bitterness or like you're a failure because it didn't work. That's not true. It's just, it was time for it to end. And just don't go back. Once you heal, don't go back, because then you're gonna have to do this list all over again. But thank you so much to my subscriber once again that requested this video. I hope this helps you and anybody else that watches it. If you enjoyed my video, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, you can subscribe to my channel, and also share this with your friends. Thank you for watching once again. You are appreciated.